Chris Carter, our boy Chris Carter over on Locked On Steelers, dropped a new reunion. I want to call it a different angle from what many people are talking about. Obviously, Juju Smith-Schuster is everybody's top of the list. Rejoin the Steelers, come back to Pittsburgh. First, did you see his tweet? And what did you think of the Valentine's Day gift to James Bradbury there?
I did see the tweet. I tried to stay off of social media. I almost muted the words Juju a couple of days ago because, man, it just everybody got a take, and it's just.
What is your take? This is your job. Our job is to give takes.
I think Juju is he loves the spotlight, man. Like, he can't help himself sometimes. It's not, like, I have defended him because I feel like a lot of the criticism that he got like over his past couple of years in Pittsburgh was, just unwarranted. But my stuff is normally just football related, man. I try to focus on the actual game itself, the shenanigans, the off the field, the TikToks and the tweets and stuff. That's just not my realm. I try to stay out of it as much as I can. But the original tweet was kind of funny. AJ Brown was kind of he seemed like he was really in his feelings.
Dude, he was pissed. Yeah. But I think, like, I don't know, like, if they handled it poorly, if the Eagles were like bitching about it and they were like, no, like, I get it. I don't know. It kind of just felt like just kicking when you're down. Like,
yeah,
just a little too soon.
When you win, you can talk shit. I mean, when you win and when you're up, But like the Jordan clip, it's easy to do all that talk when you're ahead, when you've already won.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is what it is. I don't really have too much more beyond that, but I do get frustrated sometimes because when I jump on my timeline, it seemed like some people either within like the Steelers fan base or just like people that get retweeted on my timeline, it just seems like too many people care about stuff that doesn't relate to anything that happens in between the lines of the game.
I would say that's like 85% of football fans.
And that's just something that I'll never be able to relate to, unfortunately.
No, but football has become much bigger. Football did this to themselves. You know what I mean? The NFL's goal is not to be a football game. It's to be the biggest business in the world. So that's why, the Super Bowl is 7.5 hours, and that's why they have their own TV network that doesn't talk about football 85% of the time.
Yeah.
It is a great. I watched NFL Network on repeat today, actually, and I forgot that sometimes it's actually pretty good. All right, but Juju, that is a name that gets tossed out there. Javon Hargrave, which I don't think is a realistic option for the Pittsburgh Steelers, going to be too expensive. Everybody's talking about how he's got interest from here and there, and I just don't think he's going to take a pay cut to come back to Pittsburgh. And I don't think the Steelers are even going to look at him and say, hey, please take a pay cut to come back to Pittsburgh, because I just don't think that matches. The next name, again, dropped by Chris Carter, our boy over on Locked On Steelers. Bud Dupree seems to be a fit. Still on the Tennessee Titans, but expected to make or set to make $20 million this season. No way he's getting paid. They're definitely going to cut him as a cap casualty. Not a real great time in Tennessee since leaving the Steelers in 2021, 2 years ago. Do you see it as a possible return to kind of be the reverse of where he left, which was above Alex Highsmith? Now he'd step back in and kind of be that third guy for the Steelers. Didn't play well or didn't play bad the last 2 years he was in Pittsburgh.
I mean, I'm certainly down for that. I mean, I've talked a lot about trying to, secure some type of legitimate edge 3 guy for a long time now.
Yeah.
I'm tired of wasting snaps on guys that really have no business being on the field, and it would be cool. I just don't know. I don't know what Bud's market will be. I'm assuming he's not going to have a ton.
Dude, he can't have a big
He's
market.
even had trouble staying healthy in Tennessee, which has kind of led to some of his kind of struggles there. But if you look at Dupree, like his production actually on the field, he still has like a relatively decent pressure rate. It's down from his last couple of years in Pittsburgh, but he still hover around that 10% pressure rate. So I'm down with it. We know Bud can play the run. So, I mean, you like that too. It's kind of difficult to some of those edge 3 guys that you can get later in the draft, or, edge depth in general. Usually you only got either pass rusher or run defender. So
Would you go there? Would you go draft middle of the draft before you went and signed a guy like, I mean, Dupree's going to be like what, 29, 30 maybe? He's going to be 30 years old by the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Real quick, before I forget about this, Phantom,
Yes.
go look up Trey Dean from Florida. That's the guy that I think kind of makes sense for what you're talking about with Skinner and getting a safety kind of in the middle or late rounds. Dean is a player that I kind of like from a skill set perspective. As far as Bud, I would be okay with bringing him back or the draft. Like, I think the Steelers, this is just my opinion, but I put this in my Highsmith article from like a week or two. I think they got to decide, like, is he part of the future or not? Like, I think you have to make a decision before the draft. If you think that Highsmith is an elite player, a foundational piece that you're comfortable giving 16, 17, 18 million a year, and you want to keep him in the fold, then I don't think that you can justify probably taking an edge rusher before like early day 3, late day 2. But I think if, you know, you're like, hey, we just want to see it for another year. We don't know if we're going to be able to afford him. We don't know where the team's financials are going to be at. Then if you have second thoughts or maybe some question marks there, or if you want to pay him in general, I think you got to seriously think about potentially taking one on day 2, because
day 2
rookie edge rushers like typically don't do very well rushing the passer, and Pittsburgh's defense like revolves a lot around edge rushers getting to the quarterback. So, you know, and you don't want to pigeonhole yourself into next year where you're like, you know, saying, all right, we got to go edge rusher round 1 or bust, because you don't know if like next year's class is going to be as good as this year's class, which is really, really good, really deep. So you just don't want to put yourself in that position. That's why Dupree, I think, makes a lot of sense on like a 1 to 2 year deal, because like if he's interested and you can get him on a decent deal where, you know, maybe he's got like a $3 to $4 million cap hit in year 1, maybe like a $5-6 million cap hit next year, he could give you a guy that could potentially start if Highsmith walks, while you're also kind of transitioning to either a rookie you take this year or, you know, a rookie that you draft early on in the following year's draft. So it gives you a little bit of security. But
do you take a guy in the second round if you want somebody to replace Highsmith in a season? Are you waiting until day 2 to pick an edge rusher, or are you going one in the first 3 picks?
If it was me, and this is just me, if I knew that Highsmith's last year was going to be this year and like he was not going to be part of the long-term future, then I would take one probably with either 32 or 46, because there's going to be really good guys there. Guys that I've seen in that range, kind of most of like the big media guys that kind of seem to have more of a
breaking news. Manscaped now sells beard products. That's right. They are once again revolutionizing men's grooming with their brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. From a beard trim to a fresh shave, the technology behind the Beard Hedger Pro Kit allows you to shape your signature beard and look. Now, you could finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match the carpet by going to manscaped.com and using our code Steelers20 for 20% off and free shipping. Everybody knows on this show that I have the beard. I will never show up without a beard unless it's a mustache. Manscaped coming out with beard products was huge for me, and I am so excited to tell you guys about it. It's time to tame your mane. No one likes a weird beard, so say goodbye to all your stubble trouble with Manscaped's Pro Beard Kit. It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a juggernaut for fixing faces. First off, its cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths all in one guard, so no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. That's right. Face grooming doesn't need to be hard. Get 20 different beard lengths in just one guard. Plus, it's waterproof, so you can shave in the shower to avoid all that hair in the sink. The titanium-coated T-blade is tough on hair but smooth on your face, leading to single-stroke efficiency that brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. The Pro Kit doesn't end there, though. They have created the dermatologist-tested formulations for the best post-trim care. First, there is the beard shampoo and conditioner. You need to remember all your hair is different. Your beard hair is more coarse and easier to damage than the hair on your head. That's why this kit has made shampoo and conditioner specifically designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replace natural oils to promote beard health. Next, the kit has Manscaped's beard oil, an essential piece to your main facial accessory. No one wants a guy whose beard is brittle and dry. The oil relieves dryness both on the beard and the skin beneath, while adding a little shimmer and shine to make you look extra fine. Cap off the kit with a beard balm, a pomade that shapes, styles, moisturizes, and tames for a sculpted look to attract any fellas or dames. The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: a beard brush, a comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress. I've already used all of them. They are all amazing. Best beard kit I've ever owned. So get 20% off and free shipping with our code Steelers20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. And all you have to do is use our code Steelers20. Manscaped, beard hedger, 1 stroke, 1 guard, 20.
Feel for like where the NFL stands, like BJ Ojolari. I'm a huge fan of him. Guys like that. It's interesting to see maybe some of the guys that could potentially be available, maybe make them think about it. But I would take one early. Like I said, it's the most important position for their defense, and this is a really good edge class. So,
all right. Do you let's go back to our boy Phantom here, dropping some good ones. What makes more sense? Bringing back Larry Ogunjobi or drafting a lesser proven, cheaper version of the exact same player like Mozzie Smith in the 2nd round? I think you could go a number of ways with this one. You know, it doesn't have to be Smith. It could be anybody in the first. And those 2 2nd-round picks, I'm counting 32 as a 1st-round pick. That's the last pick in the 1st round every other year. Do you go like I think maybe you do both. I wouldn't be opposed to both, especially because Larry, you're not getting Larry on more than like a 1, maybe a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's asking a lot of the questions on stuff I just wrote about, so it's kind of good.
Yeah, very true. Actually,
I feel like
literally
I've got good
your
answers
articles
for you
last week.
Yeah, I feel like I've got good answers for you. I mean, it just depends on the market for Ogunjobi, and if you really think that he's going to be healthy. I mean, he really wasn't healthy. I don't think this year what percent he was playing at. Only he and the team really know that. I definitely think that there's going to be quality options. On day 2 of the draft, the interior defensive line class is all right. It's got some schematic fits. Guy that I like, Keanu Benton from Wisconsin. I think he makes a lot of sense. He played a lot of nose tackle with the Badgers defense this past year, but I think he's a better fit for like 3 tech. But he's improving as a pass rusher. He's a pretty impactful run defender too. So he's another guy. Mozzie Smith, I like him as well. I don't know if he's a 3 tech though. I think that the Steelers may try to play him at nose tackle. But I mean, he can play up and down the front. I mean, sub package football, I think that you can 100% give him snaps like in the nickel where he's playing like over the guard or shading over the tackle and still rush the passer. Smith was a guy that I really enjoyed his tape. He wasn't what I thought he was going to be. He's obviously extremely athletic. He's not as much of a nose tackle that commands double teams more than he is just like incredibly disruptive against the run. Like he's got pretty good an athleticism to him. Siaka Ika, which you just mentioned, he's more, I think, of the kind of take 2, leave somebody free nose tackle. But Ika's production dropped last year, which was really weird. So
yeah, I think that it makes sense to do both. I think either way, like I'm seeing a lot of mocks where the Steelers take a guy at 17 and then double dip at 32. I don't know if I'm double dipping, but I wouldn't be opposed. Like if you spent a 17th pick on a really solid defensive lineman, I'm not upset about it. Like who's the dude from Iowa? There's 2 of them, maybe. The defensive lineman.
Jack Campbell's linebacker.
No.
You're talking about Luka.
Yes. Yes.
He's more. I think he's more edge defender though. If they took an edge defender in round 1, I think Steelers Twitter would light on fire.
Oh, they'd lose their mind. And Alex Highsmith would basically you might as well just go get a New Jersey because he got 365
My
days
guy
left.
Nick My guy Nick on Twitter posted a screen cap of the mock draft that he did. He was like, I haven't done a mock draft in a while. He took Van Ness in the first round, which, like,
I saw that.
full disclosure, Van Ness is going to go in the first round at some point.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
some team's going to fall in love with him. The way that, his insane pass rush production on a per snap basis last year was eye opening. Legit power. But anyway, he took Van Ness with his first pick at 17, and everybody was just he was roasting him. It was so funny. He deleted it, and it was like, all right, I got a better mock this time.
I saw. Did you? I commented on that one. I don't remember if it was the first one or the second one, but I was like, no, Roschon Johnson. Did you see that? The NFL.com. I forget who it was. It wasn't any of their like big names. Mocked Roschon Johnson to the Steelers at pick 80. The running back out of Texas. Yeah,
I
interesting.
Like Johnson a lot, but
the answer is dumb.
I like Johnson as a player, but I'm not sure the Steelers are going to be taking a running back in the third round. In
the seventh round, it makes zero. You could go pick me up. I'm going to play as many snaps as Roschon Johnson would play for the Pittsburgh. No, not in the third. Alex Highsmith, we're talking about paying $20 million as a third round pick. You want to know what Roschon Johnson's going to be doing in 4 years? Averaging about 3 snaps a season. No, Jaylen Warren's worth $800,000 this season. No. The answer is no. That was the worst mock I've seen. But I could see. I mean, Vanessa's he's not bad to the Steelers 17. I wouldn't be opposed to an edge rusher even if they didn't sign Alex Highsmith by then, but they'll know, you know what I mean? Like the Steelers will have, even if the move doesn't happen, even if the contract is not signed by the draft, they will know that they're going to sign him. You know what I mean? Like they'll be like, okay, it's not going to happen today. We got to wait until June, but we're going to get a deal done with Alex, or at least it's promising that we're going to get a deal done with Alex so that they can approach the draft that way.
Yeah. I think you got to know before the draft. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yes. Do you think that you got to ink them before the draft? Because it's very rare that they get.
I just think that you have to know if that is going to be.
Yeah.
Like if they're of the mindset like Highsmith's a foundational piece, we want to keep him. We're content paying him market value, 16 to 18 million per year.
Yeah.
Dedicating that much of our cap space to the edge rushers. If he's that important, then I'm cool. Just make sure, but just be aware that like you've got to get it done before this, really before the season, because you don't want to put yourself in a bond, like I said. So
and then he goes out and has one ridiculous year, and he's worth $24, $25 million, or somebody signs some crazy contract. Agreed, definitely agreed.